Good morning. Welcome back from the break. Hope everyone is able to get some snacks and something to drink. I'm Neil Smith. I'm the treasurer of ASDAL, and I'll be filling in for our president today, chairing this business session. So first, to start the session, let's have a word of prayer. Lord, thank you for this opportunity to come together as librarians in your service to discuss ways that we can better spread your word. We ask that you be with us today through this business session. Give us wisdom and guidance. Again, thank you for all that you've done and for bringing us safely together through our travels. In your name we pray, amen. All right. As a first order of business, what we're going to do, we need to nominate a parliamentarian for the business session. And I'm doing that first so that we can then handle any procedural issues that come up in any later agenda items. So do we have any nominations for parliamentarian? And this will be the person responsible for making sure that we are following proper procedures through the meeting and for answering any procedural questions. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Michael Campbell?
Well, we can't. Yeah, we can't nominate someone who isn't here.
I know Sheila Clark has helped me in the past with procedures. Would she be willing?
The people online cannot hear you if you do not speak into your microphone.
So I've been helped with procedures by Sheila Clark before. Would she be willing? Does she feel comfortable over Zoom?
All right.
Okay.
All right. So we have a nomination for Sheila Clark. All in favor? All right. Thank you, Sheila, for serving as our parliamentarian. For the next order of business, we have the minutes from our last business session, the last year's conference. So we'll see if I can successfully get those up on the screen for everyone. All right, and anyone who wants to pull these up themselves, if you want to review anything, they are available in the fall 2023 issue of ASDAL Action. I've got up here if there's anything anyone would particularly like reviewed. So again, I'm just quickly going through them, and if there's any particular point that people would like highlighted, please let me know. The end is all of the voting results on all the motions. Any questions or comments? All right, then once everyone's had a chance to review, I'll accept a motion.
Move to accept.
Is there a second? All right, thank you. A reminder on procedure with the business session, since they are hybrid, we'll take motions as we did here in seconds, but voting will be held until after the session to give those who are not able to attend but can view the business session asynchronously a chance to view and to vote on items. So thank you.
The name of the person that moved to in second for to accept the minutes.
So yes, when you move in second, if you could state your name for the minutes. And
I seconded Michelle Rojas, La Sierra University.
Patrick Benner, PUC.
thank you. All right. The next item of business is reports from the ASDAL executive. I believe, again, that Michelle was not able to join us. Do we have a report from her?
She said she was going to do it virtually. Is she on? She was not able to.
She was not able to.
So I
Play,
don't have
okay.
something from her.
All right. Then we'll move on to President-elect. Adare, are you available?
I just have the membership coordinator report. Did you want that now?
Sure, we can do things a little out of order if you want to go ahead and
Okay,
do that now.
I will share. Oh, I just looks like I need you to stop sharing and I can share my screen. Okay, there we go. Okay, so just want to say, while I'm here in person, I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person. I've really appreciate everyone that is there today in person or online. But here is our membership report. So today our current membership stands, we have 196 members total. This includes 68 regular members, 124 chapter members. This is made up of 67 Latin American members and 57 African chapter members. We also have 3 student members and 1 retired member. And you can see how this looks according to previous years. You'll note the asterisks that the 2021, 2022, and 23 year were slightly unusual because we extended the 2021 to 22 year to include a few months of 23 when we made the change to what the annual year was. So the 2021 to 2023 is kind of an unusual one because it's a collection of a year plus a few months. So really in comparison, I would look at it to the 2021 to 2022. And we have 20 more members than we did that year and quite a few more than 2020 to 2021. So I am happy to say that we continue to grow. Majority of this is coming through chapter memberships, which is very exciting. And that is the report as I have. Any questions? Okay. Thank you all.
All right, thank you. Question I'm not sure on. Do we need to vote to accept the reports?
Yes.
Okay. Wanted to make sure that's what I thought. So if we could have a motion to accept the,
Heather Rodriguez James, Oakwood University. I move to accept the report. Heather Rodriguez James, Oakwood University. to accept. the
Thank you.
report.
Is there a second?
Elizabeth Henry, GC, I second the report.
Thank you. All right, next report is the treasurer's report that I will be giving. If I can successfully share my screen again. All right. So as a reminder, our fiscal year runs from June 1st to May 31st. So the information reflected here reflects that time period, except for in the case of the scholarship fund, which I'll explain when we get to that. Start out just with the overall numbers. So where we have approximately $23,500 in the bank. Overall, that's our funds. And we have negative cash flow for the fiscal year of a little over $800. I'll say that reporting out that entirely is reflected in money lost on the conference. As you can see, the conference ASDAL subsidized by about $1,200. And a large part of that was that because the location, unfortunately, there were a lot of members who were not able to attend, and we had to only 14 people who actually paid dues, paid registration fee to attend. Then we did have some local people from the hosting library as well. As I note in my overview, it never looks good to have negative numbers, but our regular business we are successfully covering for. Our dues are covering our expenses, and then we have these available to subsidize the conference as necessary, and we can keep doing that going forward, at least the near term. Say, for at least another 5 years. At some point, we'll need to look and say if conferences continue to lose money every year, then something needs to change. But something may change. We'll discuss possible changes to the organization later in this week. But right now, I feel pretty good about where we are financially. The scholarship fund, mostly the money sits there and we try to collect interest on the investments and some donations. You see the amount that we have available went up by $2,600. That's entirely just income on our investments. This is very good, particularly because last year we actually gave out 2 scholarships. So we granted $3,000 instead of $1,500 like we normally do. So that's good to see we're having an increase. And so the scholarship fund continues to allow us to do at least one scholarship each year. Yes?
Who manages your fund? Is that through Andrews or somewhere else? Or?
If you could repeat that with the microphone for our online.
Who manages that account?
That account is currently managed by a group in California. It's the Inland Empire Community Fund. I believe is the name. At the time it was set up by people at Loma Linda. So let's get a note on this. One thing to note on here, the information on the scholarship fund is a little offset from our fiscal year because they give quarterly statements and they go on a calendar year. So the most recent statement we have for the end of our fiscal year in May is the one from the end of March. So where we're actually at May 31st with the scholarship fund will be slightly different. Different since we've already dispersed the scholarship for this year, so we would have $1,500 less in the fund. But then that would be reflected on next year's report. Then if people want to get a little into the numbers, here's how our income and expenses looked for the year. 1940 on membership fees. That's our primarily form of income. And a little bit of the things related to the conference ended up in this fiscal year. Most of this conference will be reflected in next year's report. One little oddity, there's government documents fee refund on there. That relates to some documents we did get from the government that they were not able to locate, so they gave us the search money back. And still working on, but get it there. Our expenses, our biggest expense is the web hosting and software, which used to be broken apart into two separate things, with web hosting being a much smaller amount and then paying for additional software like MailChimp. That's now rolled all together into the Wild Apricot platform. And they're providing, in addition to the web hosting, the software back onto that. And then the conference expenses. Payment process fees, that's just fees we pay to be able to accept credit cards. All right. Any questions on the report? All right, well, I formally submit this report to ASDAL. Is there a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion. No.
Second.
All right, sorry, could we get the names for the minutes of people making the motion?
Ashley Chisholm, I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
And Michael Campbell, I second it.
All right, thank you. All right, next item of business, ASDAL action.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Well, I wanted to report that over the last 2 years, I've been able to publish 5 regular issues and 1 special election issue. Our last issue for spring actually ended up being quite popular. There was quite an increase in readership, so that was really good. I don't have much else to say other than it's been an honor serving as your editor, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Tamara. Is there a motion to accept the ASDAL Action Editor's report?
I so move. Laura Monte.
Is there a second?
Second, Carolyn Gaskell.
Thank you. All right, the final report we have, the executive today, is the website coordinator's report. Our website coordinator is Gerald Reeses at Loma Linda. He's not able to join us today, but he did provide a brief report that Marianne, our secretary, will be providing.
Okay, Gerald wants to report that there's nothing major that he needs to say, although that the website has been operating smoothly over the past year. I think we can all agree to that. He says he maintains that the website regularly. He edits and updates it regularly. And this is the second year for using the Wild Apricot platform, which seems to be working okay. And that he's willing to continue, but will welcome anyone that would like to take his spot or help him out.
All right. Thank you. Does anyone like to make a motion to accept the report?
Heather Rodriguez James again. I make a motion to accept Gerald's report.
Is there a second?
Sheila Clark, I second.
All right, thank you. Quick comment, since Gerald said he would be happy to give that up, the website coordinator. That is an appointed position by the ASDAL executive. So if anyone is interested in the website coordinator position, you can reach out to members of the executive, and we'll be happy to consider that. Yes.
Would it be worthwhile to have the job description, position description sent out to the listserv, like to the mailing list, so that anybody who might be interested would know what's involved in it? Because then they could reach out to you,
Yeah.
or whomever.
That's an excellent idea. I think all there is in the bylaws, which is the primary job description we have, just like coordinates. But we may have additional documents, and certainly Gerald could put together something if we don't. So we'll work on getting that out to everyone. Thank you. All right, the next item I have on the agenda is just for any discussion items. So if there's any business anyone would like to raise for the floor, because I don't have any specific discussion items for today.
Catherine Van Arsdale at ADL, Adventist Digital Library. I just had a question. Tamara, would you be willing to talk a little bit more about the readership on the last issue that you said it had kind of gone up? Can you just tell us a little bit more about that? Because it seems like a nice fact. Thanks.
Sure. Unfortunately, all the statistics I have are the readership for issue publication. So that's not what is put on the ASDAL website. So I can only see the numbers for ones that are on issue. But when I was looking at it, the readership has gone up just a little bit, but it's nice to always see that that's what's happening. It will give me an overview of the year, and it will just tell me that these are the things that people are looking at. These are the articles that people are looking at. So the last issue from the last couple publications, it has gone up. So that's always nice. I think having one larger issue at the end of the year helped increase that, because there were a lot more articles to read at this time. So
Yes, and thank you to everyone who takes time to submit items to ASDAL Action. I've served as editor as well. We love to hear from you guys, and we can't put out much of a newsletter if we don't.
Yes. Yeah. This last issue, it was great. I got a lot of responses. And I think that's really what helped with the increase in readership as well.
All right. Yeah, that was a great question. It would be interesting to look to see, too, if we have stats on access through the ASDAL website. Because theoretically, that should exist. So that's something we can follow up with Gerald on.
I may have missed this because I stepped out to get the gavel for you. But have we done an overview of what the business sessions are going to look like over the next 3 days?
No, I completely did not go over the agenda. Thank you for the reminder.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, let me. See if I can successfully share. So we've put everything through just any discussion items for today's agenda. For tomorrow, we'll go through committee reports and the election results. And again, any items that anyone would like to bring up or arise from those reports. And then at the final session, we have chapter reports. And then you follow up on the election results. Also then major discussion item, which is a proposed amendment to the bylaws. That we're holding, no, it is a major item, we're holding that to the final session because it will follow on a panel discussion that comes before it on Thursday morning. So we'll have if you see in the program agenda for the conference, we'll have a panel discussion in the morning on Thursday, and then the business session. Panel discussion will also include opportunity for strategic planning for the organization, and then that will lead into a discussion of the possible amendment to the bylaws.
Also, the entire mailing list was sent the links to these business sessions. In that email was included the links to these proposed amendments with the digital markup, so that if you want to look at it ahead of Thursday, you can. That's the other reason why I believe it was put onto Thursday.
Okay. Yes, thank you. And if you do have an opportunity to review that in advance, I recommend that you do so. It's a major revision. All right. So, thank you, Ashley, for the reminder to go over the agenda. I apologize for missing that. All right. So, again, if there are any other business anyone would like to raise from the floor? Yes, Nora.
Yes, I have a question. Last year, when we had our conference at AUA, Adventist University of Africa, we developed an anthem for ASDAL. So I don't know if it's anything that this house would want to adopt, or we just say it was one-off. And remember, we paid for it. So is it anything that the house would want to adopt, so that it can be used year in, year out? You remember?
Yes.
You did
Okay. Yeah, so there was a theme developed, written for that conference that we then could adapt for the association. So Nora, if this makes sense, what I can do is mark that as a discussion item for tomorrow. Give me time to actually prepare a copy, and we can listen to that and bring that forward as a official item to discuss establishing potentially a musical theme for official musical theme for ASDAL. So I'll make sure we know that tomorrow, because it would take me a few minutes to find where the file is located. All right. Any other items online as well? Okay, well, with that, we will conclude our first day of the sessions. Or actually, first I'll give Ashley a chance. We last met at the General Conference's office for a conference in 2019. Then, as everyone knows, all plans for conferences got derailed for several years because of COVID. And so in that time, our gavel that it was traditional to hand each year to the president at the beginning of the business session to provide over the sessions has been living here at the General Conference under Ashley's care. So I will accept the gavel on behalf of Michelle, hold it, and then we will make sure it gets to Adare and can be used again in next year's conference. So since I didn't get to bang it to call us to session, I'll bang it now. But this is not ending business meeting. This doesn't end until Wednesday. This is just the session. Thank you, everyone. All right. So we'll close with a word of prayer. I'll ask Daisy, would you be willing to send a closing prayer?
Dear Lord, thank you that we were able to gather together, whether in person or online, to discuss the varying factors of running the ASDAL Association and this conference. We thank you for your care, and we hope that you bless our mission in our various institutions and countries for the honor and glory of your name. Amen.